Guys, we're going to take this video and we're going to talk about watching your investments and collecting your money. So don't forget, if you find it helpful, take a minute and like the video. If you got any comments, click below and write them in. We'll do our best to answer those for you. And don't forget to join our YouTube channel as well. Money, collecting money, protecting yourself. Things that you have to think about when you're in the real estate investment business. If you are a real estate investor and you play in the creative finance world, maybe you do a wraparound mortgage. And one thing I see a lot of investors fail at is properly protecting and supervising their investment. The biggest thing I see an issue with is they all want to utilize a loan servicer, which I understand is necessary. But they think that that loan servicer is going to become their collection agent in some format. That by using a loan servicer, that they don't have to do anything. It's a total hands-off scenario, kind of like a property manager might be. But there are differences. Remember, if you hire a property manager on a rental property, they're going to collect payments, send out late notices, eviction notices, they're going to go to court, they're going to move the people out, start the leasing process up again, and get the property income producing pretty quickly, because that's how they get paid. Your servicer is going to get paid probably whether or not they collect a payment in that scenario. And they do get paid a little bit for collecting those payments, but it's not a lot, guys. They get paid maybe half of a late charge. So is that a great incentive for them to collect that payment? So I always like to tell investors that when you play the owner finance game, where you have a back-end borrower, understand that that is your money they're paying you. Understand that you have an obligation, whether they pay you or not, to pay your first lien mortgage payment. A lot of investors go, well, if my borrower doesn't pay me, I'm not paying the mortgage. You can't do that because that's going to hurt the seller's credit. And remember, that seller could foreclose on you very quickly if they wanted to in most cases. Now, how do you play the game and how do you do it the right way? Well, what I do is in our businesses, our payments are due on the 1st, and the grace period is 10 days. So after the 10th of the month, it is now delinquent. So we're going to be proactive, and between the 10th and the 15th of the month, we're making a phone call to that borrower. Your loan servicer may do it, but remember, you as the lender can call that person as well. And you should. You should know exactly where your payments stand if you want to collect it. Next, if that borrower is going to go beyond about 10 days delinquent, we are moving to the first phase of foreclosure. And we're going to talk with the borrower, hopefully if they answer the phone, leave a voicemail, shoot them an email or a text, whatever it might be, and we send out that initial foreclosure letter. Now, when they get that, typically when they get it from a lawyer versus from a servicer, they pay a lot more attention to it. If they get something in regular mail versus certified mail, they're going to pay a lot more attention to that certified mail, has been my experiences out there in this industry. And it oftentimes will elicit a phone call to you as the lender, to the servicer, or to the lawyer in order to help get those payments collected. Now, at that point, if your borrower needs some help, that's fine. Everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes. And if you have the ability to do that, that's awesome. You don't have to be an ogre and just immediately foreclose on them because they've missed one payment. But if they don't communicate, yeah, you want to move quickly and do the right thing and put them in a position where they need to communicate with you. Sometimes borrowers play ostrich, as I say, and they go hide their head in the sand and they do nothing. I get it. I get even very proactive, and I actually go out and knock on doors. People see me do that, they go, are you serious? You go and knock on doors? Absolutely I do, because it's my money I'm trying to collect. Yeah, I got other people who may do that, but it doesn't mean that's beneath me. I am managing my investment account the best way I can. Now, can I set up a payment plan with my borrower? Absolutely. But if I set a payment plan up, I expect them to follow it. This is not where you get a chance to default by not making your payment the first time, create a payment plan, and default again. At that point, I'm moving forward until I get paid in full. But if they give me a reasonable payment plan that fits their budget for whatever the situation is, it allows me to collect my money, I'm okay doing that. And I'll tell you, I've been very, very successful at doing that because most people will do that. Not all, but most will. I like to use an example going back to the COVID era a little bit, where out of the hundreds and hundreds of mortgages that we own and service here internally, we only had 4 people go into default, and all 4 owned restaurants. So we understood the situation, what was going on, and we could have asked them to move, or whatever it might be, or we could have gone in and foreclosed, which would have been a little more difficult at that time, but we probably could have done it. But we didn't want to do that. So we reached out, they called us, and we put together a plan to help them get back on their feet. Now, these people got substantially behind, and thank goodness we had the ability to carry the load. Not everybody does, and I understand that. But we had that ability to carry the load for them and give them that grace that they needed to get back on their feet again through the times that were going on at that point. Every single one of those borrowers caught up within 12 to 18 months. They were very grateful that we helped work with them, and since then they've all been current. It's been awesome. But the key to that is being proactive. You don't sit around and let a third party be your collection agent and do things. Sure, work with them, but do it yourself also. Know what it is you need to do in the jurisdiction, the state that you're in to protect yourself from borrowers. Guys, there are some borrowers who will take you for a ride all the time. They'll then go into the bankruptcy mode, do this, do that, and play games. Learn to be proactive. Know what's going on, take the initiative, always negotiate from a position of control. One thing I see with bankruptcy when that comes up, and it doesn't happen often, and guys, ask yourself this question. Have you ever found anybody who wants to be foreclosed on? No. Have you found anybody that wants to file bankruptcy? No. You back people in the corners, things happen. But there are those people though who get in trouble, they think bankruptcy is the answer, and they want to play games. By that I mean husband files bankruptcy, it's dismissed. Wife files bankruptcy, it's dismissed. Well, now we're 6 months down the road though. Then they both file bankruptcy. But know good bankruptcy attorneys who can help you in this industry, in this business, so that when that happens, they help you to navigate the situation along the way. So the key to me with owner financing and the investment business is to understand that this is your money. You can go put money in a mutual fund and let somebody else manage your money all day long. You can try to let a loan servicer manage your money all day long. But none of those people are going to pay your debt. And they're not really going to care whether you lose money or not because it doesn't affect them. So be proactive, understand what you need to do and how you need to do it, stay on top of your investments, and you'll find that the great majority of the time, having the flexibility to work with a borrower when the case does arise and staying on top of your collections will help you diminish your losses in the creative finance and owner finance business that's out there. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful and insightful a little bit. Take the initiative the right way. If you found it helpful, like the video, write your comments below, and don't forget to join our YouTube channel as well. We'll see you all next time.